What up, YouTube fam? Today we're going to talk about patellofemoral pain syndrome. That is pain that you experience on top of the kneecap, usually when bending the knee. Let's get to it. Make sure you check out the description before you watch this video. This does not replace professional advice, and this is for educational purposes only. So patellofemoral pain syndrome is an overuse injury. It is the #1 common most running injury, and it usually comes in conjunction with iliotibial band syndrome, and both of those together is called runner's knee. How do you know if you have patellofemoral pain syndrome?
You can lay on the floor,
put your legs straight, relax your quad, place your hand over your kneecap, and then contract your quad. If you experience pain, there's a pretty good chance you have patellofemoral pain syndrome. There is a correlation to glute weakness and hip instability when it comes to lower extremity injuries. When I treat, I always believe in short-term goals and long-term goals. Short-term goals, fix the problem area. Long-term goals, work on the problems that led you to have the issue in the first place. I will post a link to my strength training business runners video at the end of this video, where I do a lot of functional glute work. Patellofemoral pain syndrome, like I said, comes in conjunction with iliotibial band syndrome, and the increase in torque that goes down at the knee with the knee coming in because the hip stabilizers are weak. The quad muscle on the side, your vastus lateralis, becomes overactive, and there tends to be a knee tracking issue where the kneecap ends up feeling like it's pulled towards the center of your body and a little more out lateral. So you feel this tightness when you bend the knee. So what we can do is exercises for that to strengthen the inner quad muscle, your vastus medialis. To start with, you can lay on the floor, take a towel, fold it into a square, place it under your knee, and you're gonna rotate the hip out 45 degrees. And you're gonna focus on contracting your inner quad muscle, your vastus medialis, as you see here, this muscle right here. And you're gonna do that 10 reps, 2-second holds, 2 to 3 sets. And obviously do it on both sides. You can also take a resistance band, tie it to a chair so you get a really good angle, and do like a knee extension exercise. You would take the hip though, rotate it out 45 degrees, and do the same thing as we did with the towel, focusing on activating the inner quad muscle, your vastus medialis. You can also do a wall sit where you're up against a wall, your hips and your knees are 90-90 with the wall and the ground, and you focus as if you were doing a squat, but contracting your quad, focusing on contracting the inner quad, your vastus medialis. And you want to hold out for about 2 seconds at a time, do 10 reps, 2-3 times a day. Contrary to popular belief, you can also get on a stationary bike, not a seated recumbent bike, but a bike where, you have the seat somewhat up to your waist, and so you have somewhat of an angle. Turn the resistance up a bit so it forces activation of your quads. If you feel your quads working, you're getting in the right direction. You can also find someone that does great massage. Active release techniques works pretty well for this. Instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization on the structures around. You can also apply a pretty good Kinesio Tape technique. You take a standard strip, cut it in half, round out the edges, tear off the paper backing on the back as such. And what you're going to do is you're going to place the tape on the outer pole of the kneecap that's bugging you on the outside. So if it's your left, you're going to start anchor it on the outer side of the kneecap, and you're going to place the anchor down. You're going to apply about 75 to 80% stretch from that anchor. As you can see right here, you pull the taping up as such. As you can see, I had a little trouble, like so, 75 to 80%. And this does take a little bit of work, and you pat it down and you take off the other backing. And the tape does activate to heat, so what I like to do is take the backing of the tape and just rub it to create friction and heat so the tape sticks better. And this is the first part of the application. I'm weird about my tape. I want to make sure everything sticks as good as possible. You probably could take a blow dryer, but I didn't tell you to do that. Next, we're going to take the other piece. What you're going to do is take another half piece, or you can measure out if you have a big knee. Rip it down the center. You're going to apply stretch in the center. This time you're going to go on the same thing, outer pole of the kneecap. You're going to anchor it in the center. And then you're going to take your time doing one side at a time. applying about 20 to 25% stretch, anchoring down below the kneecap as shown here. And then we do the same thing for the upper part. And this does work really well, especially when you're trying to rehab patellofemoral pain syndrome. It does feel like it keeps it in line and decreases your pain. But this isn't a cure-all. But this is what I usually do in conjunction with everything I've said in this video to kind of like rehab it and train through it. Obviously, if you have pain, extensive pain, I wouldn't train through it. This is just what I do. And we take the backing of another piece and we just rub it down because friction creates heat and that allows the adhesive of the tape to stick better. And there you have it. Patellofemoral pain syndrome style taping for the left kneecap. It would be the opposite for the right side. And I don't know what's wrong with me. You can also find someone that does long axis manipulation where they pull on your leg.
They don't tell a joke.
That could be a chiropractor, an osteopath, or your PT that are trained in full axis manipulation. And I have found in the past pretty good results in conjunction with and on top of the exercises. So usually if you're proactive about it and do all of those, this will go away pretty quickly. This is my experience. But I've had extreme patellofemoral pain syndrome. Saying the stuff in this video, I got rid of it in about 5 days. I changed the variety. If you are focusing on a lot of slow running, you need to force activation of those quads. Vary your training is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell for when I post my next video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.